This video is going to introduce the third form for writing a linear equation. We've already talked about the slope-intercept form, we've talked about standard form, and now we're going to learn about the point-slope form of a linear equation. Let's go back to slope-intercept form and why it's useful. The slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m tells you the slope and b is the y-intercept. However, what happens when you have a graph where the y-intercept is kind of difficult to tell? So I can't quite read where that is. Is it really on the line? I don't know. Is it halfway between? We don't want to just guess. And so there's another form that we can use to help us when we have this situation. And it's called the point-slope form. I'm going to show you real quickly where it comes from. If you look at the slope formula, m equals y minus y1 over x minus x1. If you plug in two y coordinates and two x coordinates, you can find the slope. So what happens then if I just multiply both sides by x minus 1, or x minus x1? These will cancel. And I'm going to rearrange it so it looks a little nicer. And this is called the point-slope form. Now, in the point-slope form, what's nice about it is there's no y-intercept. All we need is a point on the line and the slope of the line. Now, just like in the slope-intercept form where m stands for slope, m also stands for slope in the point-slope form. So let's look at an example of where the point-slope form would come in handy. Let's say they give you a problem where you're trying to write the equation of a line where the slope is 1/2 and it goes through the point 2, 4. Well, remember point-slope form, all we need is a point and the slope. So 1/2 will be put in for m. We're going to put 2 in for x1, and we're going to put 4 in for y1. So after doing that, we have y minus 4 equals 1/2 x minus 2. Now, if you rearrange this, you can rewrite it into slope-intercept form, but this is an acceptable point-slope form answer. Now, if I wanted to change it into slope-intercept form, I just have to solve for y. So I'm going to distribute the 1/2. And then add the 4 to both sides, and I have the equation in slope-intercept form. So adding a 4 gives me a +3. And so the point-slope form is a way to get to the slope-intercept form when you don't know the y-intercept. And now let's look at a situation where it can be a little tricky. So let's say we have the slope is 2, but this time it goes through the point -4, -8. Well, if I start with the point-slope form, and I put in the slope is 2, I'm going to put in a -8. So what happens is we have minus a -8, and then we have minus a -4, because this is your x point, or your x1, and this is your y1. And so what happens is, minus a negative is the same thing as adding. And so what can be a little confusing sometimes is even though it looks like it's a +4 in the equation, the coordinate was actually a -4 because it's minus a negative. And so let's write this into slope-intercept form from here. Let's distribute the 2. And last but not least, we'll subtract an 8 to get y by itself.